How you doing? Sitting here on the steps of the Hagen Museum and been reviewing my life experiences, my path, my ups and downs, my epiphanies, my paranormals, my out-of-bodies, my near-deaths, and just slowly putting it all on tape. My son knows nothing about it. My brothers and sister know nothing about it. And I'm just going to keep doing it. And here's another one. Morning, world. Just sitting here at the park with the ducks. I've been on this earth, just turned 66. Seen a lot of strange and wonderful things. I've had quite a few interesting experiences in my life. And I think it's time to start talking about them. When I was just turned 5, I was hit by a car. Had my first near-death and out-of-body experience. I didn't know then that was going to be my path through life. I didn't start to put things together till well into my 30s. All the experiences, the dreams. I had a number of dreams as a kid, 4 or 5 of the same dream over and over and over again. And it's only now at the end of my life that I've been able to get some understanding about what those dreams meant in my life. I joined the Air Force and was stationed in Europe in 76 and 77, and one of the most extreme, one of the most secure bases in Western Europe. We were a NATO base, live nuclear bombs and war games, but our pilots were flying in support of unknowns violating their airspace, which is what air forces are all about: identify, intercept, and shoot down. So when my pilots would come back and talk about some of those strange things, and then it was only later when I left Germany and I realized that the Billy Meyer contacts were happening at the exact same time that I was in Europe, and more than likely my planes probably flew in support of Switzerland and other countries that were having violations of their airspace by unknowns, to the point now where we're having to wrestle with, well, the government is now wrestling with trying to tell us that we're not alone. And they're doing everything they can to obfuscate and muddy up the waters, and just, for those of us that were involved directly and indirectly, we know it's a reality. We know we're not alone. One has to do just the barest amount of research to realize that we're not alone. I'm wondering where humanity is going, because it doesn't look like we're doing a very good job on this planet at this point in time. Where's the love? Where's the forgiveness? We're just so quick to separate into our groups and start pointing fingers, and it's really a sad, sad time to be on the planet right now. At least for empaths like me. So, I'm just sitting in the park here. I'm going to start talking about my stuff and my life, and it was only later, as I got older and I began to recognize other near-death and out-of-body experiences. Some were very, very conscious and lucid, and just helped develop me to who I am at this point in the world. I think the next battle is for our mind, and is for consciousness, and critical thinking and self-awareness are always on the table. So, yeah, a couple of my near deaths, I'll run by them here. This is a rather famous one in Sacramento history. I believe it was in '72, and I'm not sure of the date. It was an air show in the airport in Sacramento. I guess the old airport, which bordered Highway 99. Me and my mom and dad went to the air show. Left in the late afternoon, I want to say 3-ish perhaps. We went across the highway. There's a huge shopping center, and one of the main restaurants there was an O'Farrell's ice cream parlor, and we stopped in there to get some dinner. And it was packed with kids. 30-minute wait. My dad said no. We got in the car. It was about a 30-minute drive back down to Lodi as we headed back to Stockton. We're pulling into Lodi, a breaking bulletin on the news. There's been an airplane crash in Sacramento. So it turns out that one of the planes on display, the pilot attempted to take off the end of the runway. When he lifted off, something happened. He was forced down, came down, bounced into Highway 99, perhaps 1 or 2 times, picked up a car. The whole flaming wreck slid into the O'Farrell Theater and exploded. When you look it up on Google in the history, you can see many, many people died. It was a huge, huge, huge event. And I should have been, me and my mom and dad should have been in that restaurant, and we weren't. Another little incident. My family, we took a summer vacation, went up to Oregon. Hot summer day. We had an old 6-cylinder Ford, if I recall. And we came around a 2-lane road, came around a corner, and something happened. The car died, it overheated. My dad pulls over, there's really no shoulder, so about a third of the car, the passenger side, is in the lane. And my dad has got the hood up, and all we saw was, this is how fast it happened. My dad steps out into traffic in our lane. A diesel truck come around the corner, because it was a blind corner, at 60, and my dad had just a moment to wave this guy over and pass us. And thank God there was no oncoming traffic, or it would have been, a flaming disaster. Stuff like that. Motorcycle crashes. I got caught up rock climbing by myself, and I got stranded. Nobody even knew where I was, and I had to make a desperate jump and leap across certainly a fatal fall if I missed. Just little things like that people never even knew about.